What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. If you're new here, welcome. So in today's video we're going to be talking about travel nursing versus staff nursing pay. And y'all, this is gonna get juicy, just know that. But let me introduce myself. If you are new, my name is Sabrina. I'm a travel nurse and I also own my own business. So I've been traveling for a year now. So I started last October of 2021. I left my staff job. Best thing that I ever did, y'all. When I tell you, best thing. So we're gonna be talking about how much I made as a staff nurse and then how much I made as a travel nurse. And I'm gonna tell you guys the gross pay because I didn't want to do all the calculations and take out all the taxes. So let's get started. So I worked staff as a PCU nurse and I was working 36 hours a week. So we get paid bi-weekly. So each check was for 72 hours. So grossly within a year, I made approximately $63,878. And of course, you know, they're gonna take taxes. So I basically was averaging about $1,600 to $1,700 bi-weekly, which only gives you about $3,400 a month. To me, that was enough because I didn't have a lot of bills. I was splitting the mortgage with my mom, and my car payment was only like $360, I believe. So I was able to live off of that. I didn't splurge or anything. And I did also do like home visits on the side. I believe I made like an extra $6,000 or $7,000 that year. So I didn't do it very often. So technically I made about $70,000, but on my hospital staff job, I made $63,878. So now let's talk about how much I made as a travel nurse. So my first contract, I took it between October 1st to the end of December. So I was there for just 3 months. I didn't like that contract that much, so I didn't renew. And then my mom did get sicker and eventually passed away. So I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. So the first contract, in 3 months, I made $47,012. You guys hear that? Literally in 3 months, I made almost close to what I made in a year as a staff nurse. So my second contract was in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was there for 5 months. I actually loved that contract. So my first contract there was 3 months, and then I extended for 8 weeks. So I was just ready to come home. But it was amazing. It was an amazing adventure there. I learned a lot of new things. So in that contract, I made $67,050. So in 5 months, I made my staff job that I made in a year. So if you're on the brink about traveling or not, I think you should do it. Of course, the rates are much less now. So on that contract, so the first contract, I was making $3,600 a week after they took out taxes. And then the second contract, which was a little bit lower, I was making $3,200 a week. And then when I did renew after those 3 months, they dropped it to $2,700 a week. Mind you, you are making all this money, but you do have more expenses. So keep that in mind too. The last contract I took, which was recently in Florida, that one was only 7 weeks because I put in my 2-week notice because they wanted to play with my money. So I made $21,292 in 7 weeks, basically. So not even almost 2 months, I made that much. So the last contract that I took, I was making, how much was I making a week? Hold on, let me check, y'all. I just pulled up my pay stub because I still have access to the pay stub thing online. But at this contract that I was at for 7 weeks, I was making $4,076 roughly every 2 weeks. So when you take an internal contract, it is every 2 weeks. And then on top of that, they were paying a $500 bonus every 2 weeks. So technically I was making about, after they take out the taxes on the bonus, I was getting paid $727 bi-weekly. So the way it worked is, let's say I get paid the first week of the month. So I get the $4,076, and the second week, the week after that pay, is when I get the bonus. So you get the bonus every 2 weeks. So it's like alternating weeks basically. So I was making $727. So I was making roughly $9,600 after taxes. So before taxes, it was around like $12,000 a month basically. So the reason that I canceled this contract is because the week that I started, the week prior, I asked them, is the bonus still $500 every week? or every other week. So which will give me So the reason why I canceled the contract is because the week before I started, I asked them, is the bonus still $500 every week? So that would give me $2,000. Unlike the typical contract where you get a stipend, this one, I didn't get a stipend, but I got a bonus. The bonus was taxed, but still the bonus would help me pay for an apartment, which is what I got with Hello Landing. So the week that I started working, I get an email, oh, we're dropping the bonus to $250 a week. I'm like, excuse me? Like, are you freaking kidding me? So before putting in my 2 weeks, I applied to another internal contract, and the day that I found out that they accepted me and I had a start date, I was like, I'm putting in my 2 weeks because you guys are playing with my money at this point. Because I was like, one, I'm already away from home, and I could have been closer to home if that was the case. So put in my 2 weeks. So your girl is done with that contract. I still have one more paycheck to get from them for about a week. I think a week's worth of work, and then I'm completely done with them. So in total, within the last year with my contracts, so I've worked approximately 9, how would I say this, calculate this, 5, 3, that's 8 months, 8. So for approximately 9.5 months, I made a grand total of $135,354. You heard that right. I would have never made that much on a staff job. I'm gonna calculate that and see how much that, if I do that by half. So that's basically 2 years worth of staff job pay within 9.5 months. So making all of that money, of course, that's gross pay, your net or gross pay. So that's not with taxes taken out. Best to believe they take a lot of taxes out, especially when I was in North Carolina. They took out state taxes too. So, but still, $135,000 at 25 years old. Yeah, I'm telling you, travel nurse changed my life. So with all that comes to say is, yes, you make a lot of money, but the thing is you have to manage your money properly. So that's one thing that my mother taught me basically when I first got my LPN job. She's like, you can make the money, but if you can't keep it in your account, you're basically not even making all that money. So I met a lot of nurses. They were getting these expensive cars and stuff. This was around the time when nurses were making like $10,000 a week and stuff. So that was perfectly fine because they were making bank. Like, I wish I was traveling then. But I actually met a nurse at my current contract, and she was saying how her car payment is $1,100. $1,100, y'all. Like, that is somebody's rent payment. I was just like, are you serious? Like, I would understand, like, you're making money, but she literally was saying, oh, this is not enough money. You're making about $9,000 a month. That's not even normal RN bedside pay. That's about like maybe a nurse practitioner's pay, I'm guessing. So I was like, how is that not enough? On top of that, she's paying for another car. So she's basically paying $1,600 in car payments. So that's where you need to be smart about your money. Don't spend money like that. So these are gonna be 5 tips that I use to budget or keep myself within my monthly budget. So the first tip is gonna be budget month to month. So what I do is with every contract, let me show you an example. So every contract, this was my first contract right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll insert it here on the side most likely. So I put that I was making $4,000 gross weekly. This was in North Carolina. And then I listed all of my bills. So my mortgage, my phone payment. So all of that came out to be $2,600. And then my apartment that I was paying, a townhome in Charlotte, was $2,600 a month. So in total, I was basically paying like $5,200 in like housing, all my bills. So I write all of that down, and then every paycheck, so I do a week-to-week paycheck, and I put what I have to pay. So I always make sure I'm paying stuff ahead of time. If I have made extra money, if I picked up overtime, which I don't, I would just pay something extra. So that's how it keeps me on track, and I put how much I want to save per paycheck, and then I always put a monthly savings goal. And then I have a actual contract goal, so how much I want to save throughout that whole entire contract. My next tip is going to be stay within your budget. One thing that I really don't like doing is, I mean, everyone wants to show off they got this and this, but don't show off and go broke doing it. For example, me, my car is paid off. So honestly, I can get a new car. But do I want to? Not really. I would rather be able to go on vacation. Like when I say vacation, I'm talking about go out the country than pay a $700-800 car payment. And that's just how I am. I don't know about everybody else. And then I actually bought, like if I want to buy something, I will save up for it. I'm not just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna go buy this. So I always try to stay within my budget. I know how much I'm making, I know how much my bills are, and I know how much I'll have to spend. My third tip is do not shop spontaneously. So I've been guilty of doing this, but not like expensive stuff. Like I'll go to the store and just randomly shop stuff. But if I want to buy something like very expensive, I will literally put it in my cart and then I will sleep on it the next day. If I don't want it, then I just take it out of my cart. But had I bought it the day before, I honestly would have just bought it. I wouldn't have even put any thought in that. So if you do want to get something, put it in your cart, maybe wait a day or two, and then just think about it. Do I still really want this, or was it just me just, you know, just wanting to shop out of nowhere? My fourth tip is pay your bills and put money in your savings first. So always pay your bills first. You don't want to go shopping and then that next thing you know, you don't have enough to pay your bills. Like that's the worst thing that you want. You don't want a negative bank account. Nobody wants a negative bank account. So always pay your bills first. If you have to automate your bills, do that, because I do that. I will definitely forget, because one time I forgot to pay my water bill. So luckily I wasn't home. So even if they turned it off, oh well. But always pay your bills first and put money in your savings, and then you can shop. So my last tip is be happy with what you have. Honestly, me making this much, I feel like I'm not one of the bougie nurses. My cousin actually told me this. Like you're not gonna see me with a Louis Vuitton bag. You're not gonna see me with like expensive shoes or any of that. I will still shop at Forever 21 and I will still shop at Shein. Now, I have splurged on myself. I bought this laptop right here. My very expensive laptop. This laptop was probably like $2,800. And then I did get a new camera. I got this vlogging camera, which is the Sony ZV-1, and then I got my other camera, which is the Canon EOS R6. So I did buy stuff for myself, but it's stuff that I'm actually gonna use. Like I use my camera a lot for my business. I use my laptop a lot because I'm still doing my BSN. So those are kind of necessities, because my old laptop was finicky as hell, y'all. So yeah, be happy with what you have. Do not compare yourself to another person. Like I'm telling you, comparison will just make you go downhill. All that to say, if you are thinking about becoming a travel nurse, even though the rates are still low, it's still more than what you made as a staff job. Like I'm telling you, like my current contract, I will still be making the same amount that I was making in Jacksonville, and I will be home. So yeah, and best thing about it is I don't have to pay for an apartment. I just have to pay for my lovely mortgage here. So yeah, if you guys want to see more content and learn more, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and follow your girl on Instagram, SabrinaLaporte_. I made a new Instagram, so go on there and show me some love, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.